4 versus 8. Lovett and Gomez, 12-1 versus 10-1. Look at all the bonus points these two have racked up over the course of the season. A couple of majors, tech, pins. So 2 of the hammers for both these rosters. This could certainly set the temperature and the tone for this dual meet tonight. You talk about toss-up matches. None better than when you've got 2 top 10 wrestlers locking it up, and it just happens to be our first match of the night, so that means we'll end it at 141 pounds. Kind of out of the norm here tonight. Most matches, you'll see the traditional 125 start, but not tonight. We started with a good one at 149 pounds. Lovett wearing the black singlet, and Gomez in the camouflage, white and gray. We are set to get this Big Ten matchup here underway, and we are off and running. Wisconsin and Nebraska. Gomez, the transfer from Iowa State, the redshirt junior from Glenbard North High School in Carroll Stream, Illinois. Very decorated prep career, one of the top recruits in the country when he went to Iowa State. Injuries shortened his career at the Cyclones, but after a year off, he's back on the mat and off to a very good 2021-22 campaign here with the Badgers. Lovett, the sophomore from Post Falls, Idaho. Sophomore currently ranked 4th in the country and a 12-1 record on the season. Opening 40 seconds of this one, no action as far as scoring yet. Both these guys trying to get that feeling out process. Again, when you look at how close these dual meets have been in the past, you get the sense that this match right here could very well come into play when it's all said and done here tonight, deciding who wins this matchup between Wisconsin and Nebraska. Shot attempt there by Lovett. Nice strong hips by Gomez, and we are still neutral. Crowd starting to try and get behind Gomez here. 1:33 remaining in this opening period. Gomez, the junior. Lovett, the sophomore. Lovett already a 2-time national qualifier. Big Ten runner-up a season ago as well. As here's Gomez in on a shot. Switches off to a high crotch, and the first points of the match go to the hometown wrestler Austin Gomez, and that gets a big roar from the fans here tonight. It's youth night, a lot of area high school and youth programs in attendance as we get set for the high school tournament series coming up here in a couple of weeks in Wisconsin. That state tournament, there's the escape by Love of that state tournament, contested just down the road, a few blocks at the Kohl Center. 2-1, minute remains. And we're going to get it, I think, locked up fingers there. Official's going to stop it and reset it. 47 seconds to go. Again, the Gomez takedown. Lovett with the quick escape. Just 9 seconds of riding time right now. And we are back to live action. Gomez again on the shot attempt. Counter by Lovett. Nice reshot attempt by Lovett, but Gomez up to the task. Yeah, what a Big Ten tournament it was last year for Ridge Lovett, as the 7 seed made it all the way to the conference finals, upset Mirren of Iowa, the 2 seed in the quarterfinals, and Blockhouse, the 6 seed of Minnesota, in the semis before falling to the top seeded Sammy Sasso of Ohio State in that championship match. Also an NCAA qualifier as a freshman. Final seconds ticking off in this opening period. So far, so good for Austin Gomez. He'll take a 2-1 lead and defer his choice to the third period.
Wisconsin chooses to defer. Nebraska going down. Wisconsin to ride.
Gomez in his 1 year of competition at Iowa State, 24 wins. Got to the round of 12 at the NCAAs. That's for diehard wrestling fans. Of course, the blood round, the round that makes you an All-American. Gomez came up just one round short, but still a couple of years of eligibility. And the way he's going right now, you'd certainly think that Gomez would be a strong candidate for an All-American top 8 finish at the NCAA Championships coming up in March. Lovett, of course, as well. Currently ranked number 4. Huge seeding points here as well for both these guys when it comes to not only the Big Tens, but the NCAAs. Just you want to get as high a seed as possible, give yourself the best chance to All-American, and that's what it's all about in this sport. 2-2 after the Lovett escape, so we're even up midway point of this period and match. Again, Gomez deferred, so he will have choice in the third period. Have to think he goes down, especially if the score remains tied at 2 here in the final 50 seconds of this second period. And here's Gomez again in on the shot. Can he finish? Trying to chase those hips, the far leg there, pass it. Nice job, though, by Lovett locking up. This is going to be tough for Gomez to maybe avoid a stalemate here, although he is coming up. Lovett locking around the ankle, and yeah, I was going to say, most when you get in that stretched out 9 out of 10 times you're in a stalemate. Nebraska will continue its road trip after tonight. They'll head east a couple hundred more miles, head down to West Lafayette for a Sunday afternoon matchup with the Boilermakers of Purdue. Purdue currently ranked 17th. That's a televised dual meet, I believe, on Big Ten Network. Oh, Gomez with the lateral drop. Initially signaled 2, and then the ref waved it off. I think that's the right call, but Gomez sticking with it. Let's see if he can finish the sail, and he does. Oh, with 2 seconds left in the period. You see Chris Bono, the head coach for the Badgers in the background, always animated. He certainly was there on that wild scramble. And Gomez is not going to mess with going down with a 4-2 lead. He's going to go neutral. I get the logic there. You've had 2 takedowns on your feet. Love it, accomplish Ryder. Make him take you down here in the third period. Well, we said this match could certainly play a pivotal role in the dual meet, and that sequence at the end of that second period could certainly play a pivotal role in this match, as Lovett avoided the initial takedown on the lateral drop attempt, and then Gomez came up to like a body lock and got the mat return with 1 second left. 1 second right now, the difference in this 149-pound showdown between 2 of the top 8 ranked wrestlers in the country. Mild upset alert here. This would be a huge one. Gomez has clawed his way back. A couple of years off with injury. I believe he started the season probably in the mid to low 20s in the rankings. He's climbed his way all the way to the top 8, and if he can hang on here in the final 45 seconds, he's definitely going to be moving up even more after knocking off the 4th-ranked wrestler in the country. Love it. Looking at the officials, lobbying maybe for Gomez pulling on his singlet. Not going to get any response from the ref. 30 seconds to go. Gomez of Wisconsin, a 4-2 lead. And a stalemate call with 25 seconds. Crowd here in the field now is getting on its feet, trying to urge Austin Gomez to a maybe signature win this season here at 149 pounds. 10 seconds. No cautions, no warnings, and there's the first one coming, but you'll give that up every day of the week in the final 5 seconds. A huge win for Austin Gomez. Statement made to start this dual meet, as Gomez has just upset the 4th-ranked wrestler in the country, Ridge Lovett of Nebraska. Give the Badgers an early 3-0 dual meet lead. Well, another very intriguing matchup here. At 157 pounds for the Cornhuskers, it's the 5th-ranked wrestler in the country, Peyton Robb. You'd say on paper, well, what do you mean? The opponent, Garrett, Model's only ranked 27th. But maybe you missed Wisconsin's last dual meet where Model upset in dominating fashion the 4th-ranked wrestler in the country, Brayton Lee of Minnesota. It earned Model the Mat.com USA Wrestling's Wrestler of the Week. And that is a very big honor. But look at this. Robb with a quick takedown and tilt. And a full 5. So that's going to be a 4 near fall. And as I'm saying the praises of Garrett Model, he quickly falls down 6-0 here to Peyton Robb of Nebraska. Yeah, that Wisconsin dual meet was one for the ages last week up in Minneapolis. First win against the Gophers in over a decade for the Badgers. And it was convincing at 21-15. The highlight, of course, Model upsetting 4th-ranked Brayton Lee. 10-5. Model does get the escape. He's got a lot of work to do here, though, down 6-1. Opening minute of this opening period. Robb, the sophomore from Owatonna High School in powerhouse Owatonna, Minnesota. One of the better high school programs up in the talent-rich state of Minnesota. There's another slide by and a takedown for Robb, make it 8-1 now. Robb, a 4th-place finisher the last 2 years at the Big Tens. Got to the round of 16 last year at the NCAAs. Also, of course, in that COVID-shortened season of 2019 and 20, finished 3rd at the Big Ten, which is for sure going to be an NCAA qualifier. Unfortunately, they canceled that tournament, so we'll never know. Robb was certainly on fire going in, winning 4 of 5 at that Big Ten tournament back in March of 2020. Model, a local product here from Stoughton, Wisconsin, just about 20 minutes up the road here from where we're sitting. One of the great prep programs in Wisconsin. I think they're at 4 in a row as far as state championships in the large school division here in Wisconsin. Another takedown for Robb. Couple of Badgers or Stoughton wrestlers on this Badger roster. Tyler Dow, Brooks Empey, and of course Garrett Model. Team State, by the way, for high school wrestling, competed in this building every March. One of the great events here for Wisconsin high school wrestling.
He's going down, Wisconsin to ride.
Well, Model is one of the better riders in the Big Ten. He's going to have to show it here as he is going to get the chance to ride down 8 after a dominating first period. A couple of takedowns by Robb and the big 4-point near fall, setting him up in a great position here at 157 pounds. Not only to get Nebraska tied in the dual meet, potentially taking the lead here with a major. That would be a bonus point. And right now, that's where it would finish at a 11-2 lead here for Peyton Robb. I wonder if these there's a nice shot by Model. And close to 2, and there it is. Well, Garrett Model has had some incredible comfort behind wins in this building. I remember doing a match here on the Big Ten Network a couple years ago against Penn State. When Model pulled out a wild finish for a win over a ranked wrestler. Does he have some more magic here for the fans tonight? Still a long way to go. He might be in some trouble here. I think he was trying to lock up that bundle cradle and it got a little extended. Well, still has the cradle lock. Oh, he nearly had Robb over. But great job by Robb getting the hip centered, gets the 2-point reversal. And, boy, you don't want to say last stand time for Model. There's still a period left. But, boy, that looked promising when Model fought it off the first time and kind of bridged through. I thought he maybe was going to get that cradle, and that would have certainly made this match interesting. As it is, Lovett, or Robb rather, is able to get away and add to his lead now 13-5. Model dropping down to that 2-on-1. Mentioned the Badgers head out on the road after this for a TV televised matchup against Purdue on Sunday. Nebraska continues its road trip. They'll head down south to Evanston for a Sunday afternoon matchup with Northwestern. So both these teams on the road coming up on Sunday. Wisconsin at Purdue and Nebraska at Northwestern. That Nebraska-Northwestern, by the way, will be on BTN Plus. And again, Wisconsin and Purdue on the Big Ten Network. 13-5. We're going to get a caution. False start on Robb. You need a couple more of those before any points would be awarded. Issue with the clock, and the Badger fans are not happy. They want to get Model push the pedal here. He's got an engine. And look at this. Oh, nearly stepped through, and another potential near fall for Garrett Model. As it is, it's going to be an escape. Again, he has some theatrics in his game. Does Garrett Model? But there's a beautiful goal behind by Robb. Model, very long, lanky wrestler. That you always have that home run potential, whether it's a cradle or a turn from top or a kind of a funky throw from your feet. And he's going to have to come up with something here. Nebraska coaches want an explanation on that escape. They're saying it was never, control was released. Mark Manning, the Cornhusker head coach. Officials not too keen on entertaining that lodged complaint. So we're back to neutral. 1:22 to go. A couple of world-class coaching staffs. Mark Manning, of course, Brian Snyder, the longtime lead assistant. Tervel Delagnov, the Olympic medalist. And, of course, on the Badgers side, there's a takedown by Model. Alongside Chris Bono, John Reeder, world-level wrestler, and Seth Gross, an Olympic trials participant just last summer. He's still very much in the mix to be competing for an Olympic team in a couple of years. Model again in on the shot, and boy, how many times have we seen this from Garrett Model? Just late match comebacks. I'd give him credit. He's cut the lead from 9 down to 5. He's still going to need probably that big feet to back here. I don't think he's got enough time to do the takedown. Let him game go. There's a stalling call. That's very smart if you're Robb. Shoot the low leg single, just hang on and work some clock. He doesn't care how much time's there. He doesn't care if he scores. He's just eating clock, and that may be enough to work off the clock here. Very heady move there by Robb, because all the momentum was on the side of Garrett Model, and that's how you slow down momentum. Just get on a shot and hang on. And Peyton Robb going to hang on for a hard-fought victory. Give Model some credit. I think that was a 10-2 match at one point. It's going to end at 17-11. A ferocious comeback by Model, comes up a bit short. Big win for Robb, and that'll tie up the dual meet here at 3 apiece.
Officials to the head table, please. Officials to the head table.
Another good one here. A couple of ranked wrestlers locking horns. We have another official conference at the head table. We can tell you it'll be Andrew McNally, the redshirt senior for the Badgers, currently ranked 22nd. And Mikey Labriola, one of the better wrestlers in the land at 174 the last couple of seasons. Labriola coming in 5th in this week's rankings, 11-1 on the season.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming out at 165 pounds.
Oop, I jumped the gun one. Apologize there. We are at 65. I'm so excited to see that 74-pound match. There you go, Dean Hamiti and Andrew Clark. But you talk about a hot wrestler. Look at the record there of Dean Hamiti, 14-0 for what we thought was going to be a redshirt season for Hamiti. But due to some transfers and injuries, Hamiti gets put in there. And boy, oh boy, is Hamiti lived up to the billing. Already ranked 8th in the country. The freshman from Joliet Catholic Academy in Joliet, Illinois. Undefeated to start his college career. His opponent, Bubba Wilson, another freshman from Manhattan High School in Manhattan, Kansas. And there you see Hamiti just, he's got all the tools in the toolbox. Has the potential to be something special and already off to an incredible start here for Wisconsin to his true freshman season. Think about this. A season ago, he was just a senior in high school, wondering if he was going to get his senior year in Illinois. Unfortunately canceled due to COVID. Did not have a chance to put his name in the history books as a 4-time Illinois high school state champion, which is almost unheard of in that state. And a year later, in the starting lineup for Wisconsin, undefeated and already ranked 8th in the country. And, of course, this weight class been occupied by Evan Wick, multiple-time All-American for the Badgers. It was going to be his senior year here. Decided to transfer back home to Cal Poly, be close to family. I believe he had a brother that was now wrestling for Cal Poly. So Hamiti, they pulled the red shirt, and obviously they knew what they had. As here's Hamiti locking up a cradle. Look out here. Well, that looks awfully tight. Center of the mat. I give Wilson credit. He's fought it off momentarily. I don't know how in the world he got out of that, but he's still not out of danger yet. Now Hamiti dropping down to a half, and there it is. Man, oh man, is this kid fun to watch. Just a true freshman, 18 years old, and how about a bow to the fans? And you got to do the double biceps. Of course you do, if you're a big-time wrestler. And DJ Hamiti, he is a stud, a pin hair, 15-0 to start his college career here for Wisconsin, make it 9-3 in favor of the Badgers. Now, I must have been knowing something here that I jumped the gun on this 174-pound match. Well, here we go. It is a pretty good one, after all. Andrew McNally ranked 22nd for the Badgers. Mikey Labriola ranked 5th for the Cornhuskers. Labriola out of Bethlehem Catholic, one of the great prep programs in Pennsylvania, Easton, PA. McNally came via the transfer portal from Kent State. Wrestled his prep days at Uniontown, Ohio High School. And here we go, McNally and Labriola, another match that certainly you look on it, maybe slight advantage Labriola, but when you have two ranked wrestlers looking up, usually that's one of those you wrestle 10 times, it can go 5-5. So another very pivotal match in deciding this dual meet. And McNally in on the shot, hooks that far ankle. Well, that's close to 2, but what a nice job by Labriola. Stepping over, and now it's Labriola getting close to scoring, and look out. Labriola with the suicide cradle. We saw Garrett Model trying that in the last match, or 2 matches ago. It didn't work out, but look out here. Labriola has it tight. McNally is in some trouble here. Well, That's some good fight there, man. You fight out a bundle cradle from the 5th-ranked wrestler in the country. Give you some props. 6-1. Bad news if you're McNally is the 6-point move that Labriola just hit there. Labriola, what a 2021 it was for him, finishing 3rd at the NCAAs. Was upset in the quarterfinals by the 12 seed. Ran off 4 straight on the backside of the bracket, including avenging the wrestler who beat him from Cal Poly in that 3rd place match. I always love that when you see a wrestler lose early on the NCAAs and mans up on the backside, wins 4 or 5 matches in a row to become an All-American. That's what Labriola did last year. He was 3rd at the Big Ten tournament last year as well. 5th at the Big Ten 2 years ago as a sophomore. 4th as a freshman. Already 2 All-Americans under his belt for Labriola. Only a junior, so certainly a strong candidate to be a 4-time All-American, and that does not happen often in this sport. It tells you the level of talent there of Mikey Labriola. He'll have choice here in the 2nd period. All points coming on that one big move, the cradle and the near fall. McNally was able to fight his way out of it. Let's see if he can fight his way back into the match now, down 5. Speaking of Big Tens and NCAAs, feels like it's going to be here before you know, man. It was just a couple of days ago I was here doing the Buffalo match, start of the season. That was November 1st. We're already into late January. Of course, Big Tens this year in Lincoln, Nebraska's hometown. That'll be March 5th and 6th. Then the NCAAs March 17th through the 19th in Detroit. So for you wrestling fans, keep those dates handy. They will be here before you know it. About a month and a half away from tournament season. There is nothing better. I know basketball gets the March Madness, but man, oh man, if you've never watched or been to a Big Ten or NCAA tournament, you are missing out, man. It is electric and cannot wait. As we are on the home stretch here for these teams. Still some big-time duels, though, coming up as there's the escape on McNally. Wisconsin trying to keep undefeated in conference. So everyone's going to be watching that February 5th date. Badgers at Iowa, the top-ranked team in the country. But to get to that undefeated, they still got some work to do here tonight against Nebraska. As we mentioned, a road trip Sunday at Purdue, and then next week out at College Park, Maryland, taking on the Terrapins. So we'll see what all plays out, but that'll be fun to see the Badgers and Hawkeyes hooking up down at Carver Hawkeye in a couple of weeks. This would be big here for McNally if he could finish this single leg, cut this lead basically in half. Work off some of that riding time as well if he could get the takedown here. Race against the clock, though. 10 seconds remain in this 2nd period. And time's going to get the best of Andrew McNally there, so we will continue to trail by 7. Let's see what McNally's going to do here in the 3rd period. Riding time not in play, so yeah, I think that's the right call. The caveat to that is you got to get out in under 40 seconds. You don't want to give up the riding time. So then it's just trading a point. But if you can get away in 10, 20 seconds here, you feel like you're back in this match. You have some options in the 3rd period. McNally quickly in and out, and obviously right call. How about a 3-second escape there for Andrew McNally? So riding time not on the board at this point. As you see it there in the upper left-hand portion of your screen, just 31 seconds. Well, if you're McNally, you're saying, hey, my opponent hit a 6-point move in the first period. That's what I need to do here. A takedown and the 4 near fall to get right back in this match. But maybe not the shot McNally wanted or needed at that point. Easy counter and score for Labriola. Quick escape, though, by McNally. And Labriola is fine with trading 2 for 1s here, the final minute plus of this match. And another takedown, and now the Nebraska coach is saying ride him out because you see the score at 13-4. That would be a bonus point for the major decision. So 4 team points. Nebraska currently trailing by 6. And that would be a path to get Nebraska back in this dual meet. Still a long way to go. 6 matches to go. And several ranked wrestlers for the Cornhuskers coming up, several ranked wrestlers for the Badgers coming up again. This could literally come down to the last match, which will be at 141 pounds. Going to be started tonight at 149 pounds. Gomez with that big win over Lovett. Here's a big win for Labriola, 14-4. And it's a 9-7 lead now for the Wisconsin Badgers as we move ahead. Another big-time matchup here at 285. Trent Hillger, the 8th-ranked heavyweight for the Badgers, taking on Christian Lance, the 11th-ranked heavyweight in the country for Nebraska. Hillger, one of the more decorated Badger wrestlers in team history with what he's been able to accomplish in his career, trying to finish off his final year here in style, the redshirt senior from Lake Fenton High School in Michigan. Three-time All-American, Hillger, including a 6th-place finish in 2021. 8th as a freshman. 3-time Big Ten place winner as well. Lance, the senior also from Nixa High School in Nixa, Missouri. NCAA tournament qualifier a season ago as well. Was 5th at the Big Tens last year. And really was the match last year, these two, that decided the dual meet down in Lincoln. It was a 21-15 Nebraska win. It came down to this match. It was 18-15 going into the heavyweight match. And Lance defeated then-ranked 7th-ranked Trent Hillger in overtime 4-2 to secure a big dual meet win a year ago for Nebraska. Now, it's not the obviously final match of the night, but does Hillger have a win. Badgers need it. Running out of matches, down 4. Does Hillger have some payback maybe coming Lance's way after Lance won a tight overtime match between these two a season ago? They did not wrestle at the Big Tens last year. Final seconds ticking off in this opening period. No score. Hillger, 2 losses on the season. Both have come in dual meets. Bit of an upset when Lucas Davison or Northwestern beat Hillger a couple weeks ago in a dual meet. And then no shame in losing to the Olympic gold medalist Gable Steveson a week ago up in Minneapolis. Boy, oh boy, maybe the best I've ever seen. Gable Steveson kind of stunning the world when he decided to come back for another year of college wrestling in Minnesota after winning a Olympic gold medal. Of course, signing a huge contract with WWE. But Stevenson's back and wrestling for the Gophers. I'll go ahead and say that's going to be a tough out for anybody at the Big Ten tournament in March. Hillger with that body lock. Look out here. And there's going to be a stalling call on Hillger and then an escape for Lance. So that was a double whammy if you're Trent Hillger. I think he thought, well, hang on, I'll give up the stalling call because it'll prevent the escape. Well, unfortunately, it did not. As Lance gets a stalling call on Hillger and still gets the escape. Nice high crotch attempt there by Hillger. Lance able to counter. Don't want to say it's a must-win for Wisconsin, but just 3 matches to go after this one. You fall down 7. The math starts to get a little fuzzy. Flip side, you cut it to a 1-point lead with 3 to go. It's basically anyone's dual meet. Wisconsin would pretty much have to win out if Hillger were to lose here at 285. Just the one escape here early on in the second period for Christian Lance. 11 versus 8. Boy, this is the kind of match you talk about seeding and ranking. This is definitely the kind of match that has a big-time effect on your Big Ten tournament seed and then ultimately your NCAA seed. I could certainly see these two crossing paths in March, whether it's at the Big Ten or NCAAs or both. Both figure to be seeded high and ranked at both tournaments. Hillger in on a shot, and a big counter by Lance. Talk about points light. Boy, Nebraska's been doing it all night, scoring late in periods, and here's another one. That is a huge takedown for Christian Lance. 3-0. Take a look at it again here. You always want to be aggressive, but you always got to know time and score, too. And I just don't know if taking that shot with 9 seconds left in the period is your best move there if you're Trent Hillger. Well, there's the good news. The escape comes very quickly, so still plenty of time for Hillger to get a tying takedown. And then you decide you try and ride or cut him and get a second takedown. First things first, you got to get the first takedown. Oh, beautiful. Go behind by Hillger. Crowd begging for 2. You see Hillger keeping that foot in, trying to get that far ankle. That would be 2. And now we're going to go out.
1 minute 30 seconds. 1:30 remaining in the third.
Nebraska coach Manning at the head table, not sure what he could possibly be asking. If anything, it would be a fleeing on the Nebraska wrestler, which I don't think it was, by the way, but certainly nothing on Hillger's side, as he was trying to keep his feet in bounds for a tying takedown. (3-1), 30 seconds into this final period in what could be a match, dual meet deciding match here at 285. Hillger, a flurry of shots here. Another sweep single by Hillger. And now he's in trouble. Well, he's able to come out of that nice. 1 minute to go. Again, the crowd on its feet, and again, Hillger in on a shot. In some trouble, though, on his butt. And has to give it up. Ooh, that's a big takedown here for Christian Lance. Now up 4 with 40 seconds to go. Hillger with the escape, 20 seconds to go, down 3. Crowd begging for a stalling call. They finally get it with 14 seconds. I think it's going to be too little, too late. A 5-3 win for Christian Lance. And the Cornhuskers are inching closer to pulling the big upset here in Madison. 4 straight wins for Nebraska. 74, 84, 97 in heavyweight. And Nebraska now finds itself leading this dual meet 16-9 as we move ahead to 125 pounds. There you see it. The red-hot Eric Barnett, ranked as high as 4th in the country in some polls, comes in at 7-1. 3-7 Jeremiah Reno. This is not only a must-win if you're Barnett, but a must-bonus point if Wisconsin's going to have any chance to still win this duel. Barnett always brings a great fan base. In-state product, one of the great prep careers at Hortonville High School. Great Division I program. Just a couple hours north of here. Ooh, nice shot by Reno. Jeremiah Reno, the freshman from Liberty High School in Kansas City. Again, this would be devastating if Wisconsin lost this one. Now Reno close to a takedown here. Barnett trying to lock in that chin whip there. Now he's going to bail out, and we're back to neutral, no change. We have Berwick and Serrano at 133, Zargo and Red at 141. Again, Nebraska up 7. You hate to put pressure on Barnett to say, hey, not only you got to win big. But when you're talking about the 8th ranked wrestler in the country wrestling a 3-7 freshman, you got to say bonus points is almost a must here in this 125-pound match. Nice shot again by Reno. And a nice counter, though, by Barnett. Barnett's coming in red hot as well. Huge win last week up in Minneapolis. There's a 2-point takedown. He upset 8th ranked Patrick McKee of Minnesota 8-5. Barnett also had a nice win over Scheuer of Rutgers a couple of weeks ago. Barnett, by the way, that was the only loss of Barnett's season, that dual meet loss against Northwestern. Barnett 7-1 on the season. We mentioned the first NCAA coaches rankings came out earlier today, and that's basically the seeding criteria that'll be used for the NCAA championships. It's, of course, not the final vote, but the first to kind of give you an idea of where your wrestler and where your team sits. And Barnett's sitting very well, currently ranked 5th by the coaches at 125 pounds. Arajau of Cornell. Let's take a look at this roll through tilt attempt by Barnett there. No points. Arajau of Cornell, Gloria of Princeton, Courtney of Arizona State, and Master Giovanni of Oklahoma State, the top four. Barnett, the highest ranked Big Ten wrestler, so you start thinking about maybe top seed for Barnett come tournament time at the Big Ten. Obviously, the huge news at this weight class was Spencer Lee, the number one ranked wrestler in the country, reigning NCAA champ, had to shut down his season due to an injury. Has completely opened up this weight class, and Barnett absolutely could be in the mix to win a Big Ten title and maybe even an NCAA title. Has a 2-0 lead here going into the second period. And the escape for Barnett. But again, you're down 7 if you're Wisconsin with 3 to go. Boy, you'd love to get at least a major here out of Barnett, even maybe a tech or pin. Long way to go. We'll see how this one plays out. Nice go behind by Barnett. Now 5-0. Oh, there's the roll through tilt. Ooh, that was close. Barnett's got to be careful here. Don't you want to get too high and extend yourself and you readjust, try and go again. Crowd starting to chirp for a stalling call. Barnett nice on that claw ride. Barnett is a hammer on top, one of the better turners on this Badger roster. And they could use some back points here. .41 seconds to go, second period. Barnett of Wisconsin, a 5-0 lead. I think your best bet if you're Barnett is to continue to ride. Probably would have a good shot at a stalling call here, and he's been awfully close on a couple of those tilts. So I think the play here is a good call, not to cut the wrestler, try another takedown. I think the best move if you're Barnett is to keep working on top. .15 seconds to go, second period. It'll be interesting to see what Reno does in the third period with choice, having been ridden out here for nearly 3 minutes in this match. He is going to go down. Riding time is basically locked up for Barnett. So you're looking at a 6-0 lead. To get that extra team point, you're going to have to find a couple of stalling calls, a near fall, or ooh, careful there on the roll through tilt. Hooking up the claw, nice there, Barnett. Drop down to a spiral maybe, a tight waist. Well, you'd have to say this is a win right now for Nebraska if this score holds, to see if Barnett tries to change his strategy here in the final minute. The riding has not worked out other than the riding point. Would have thought maybe a couple of stalling calls or a near fall. He was so close on those turns in the second period, but give Reno credit. He's hanging in there. Again, this would be a huge win for the team race if it's only a regular decision here for Barnett and the Badgers. Again, Barnett trying that roll through tilt. .35 seconds to go. Barnett again going up to that claw ride. 20 seconds to go. And Barnett's going to get a win, but I think you're going to take that as a win if you're Nebraska. So the Badgers are going to have to pull an upset or two here in the final two matches if they're going to stay unbeaten on this season. Take care of that's our last match of the night. 141 pounds. The freshman for Wisconsin, Joe Zargo, and the senior for Nebraska, Chad Redd Jr. Well, that's how quickly things turn, folks, in the Big Ten season. Wisconsin came in, maybe one of the hottest teams in the country. Nebraska came in looking for its first win of the year. And lo and behold, it's going to be Nebraska walking out of Madison here tonight with a win. Red currently ranked 9th in the country, in on a shot. 7-2 on the season. Red taking third at that Cliff Keen Vegas invite. Only loss coming in the quarterfinals. Wrestled his way back to third. Zargo's been a bright spot. True freshman here for the Badgers. Out of Bergen Catholic in New Jersey. Actually grew up wrestling with Chad's dad, Chad Redd Sr., great prep wrestler in Illinois, where Chad went as well. Or I should say Indiana. New Palestine, Indiana. Red, a three-time All-American. 18-19 and last year finishing 6th. So again, with that free year, Red could be another one that gets some rarefied air to be a 4-time All-American. Yeah, I mean, from a guy who did it unsuccessfully once to get to an All-American multiple times is pretty remarkable. And when you get to where guys like Red and Schultz and Hillger, some of these guys going for their 3rd, 4th All-American. Chad Redd, speaking of history, one of 3 to do it. James Green, who could forget James Green, great college wrestler, and went on to international success. And associate head coach Brian Snyder, who's still with the Huskers, the only other 2 to ever be 4-time All-Americans. So that just tells you how difficult it is to do and how great of a career it's been for Chad Redd. And a beautiful leg sweep and a takedown. Now he's fun to watch, man. Look at some of the names. If Red continues this, it become potentially a national champ. Last to do it. It's been a while for the Cornhuskers. The great Jordan Burroughs, the last to do it in 2011. Before that, Paul Donahoe, the great 125-pounder back in 2007. Jason Powell, also at 125. Brad Veering. Tully Thompson. Some of the great names of the past. Who could forget the Perler brothers? Tony Perler back in 1993. Bill Scheer, the Olympian. The Scheer brothers, of course. Bill and Jim Scheer both did it in 1984. So some great names throughout the years here at Nebraska. Chad Red, when it's all said and done, could go down as the most decorated Cornhusker wrestler of all time. If he would win a national title this year, I don't think there'd be any argument. Only one of 3 4-time All-Americans. And that's where Red sits right now. You talk about, by the way, those rankings that we were mentioning, the first coaches rankings for the NCAAs. Red right now at 8th at 141 pounds. Nick Lee, the reigning national champ from Penn State, the top spot. Jaden Ironman of Iowa. Sebastian Rivera of Rutgers, the top 3. Riel Woods, North Carolina, or Stanford. Kazan Clark, North Carolina. Clay Carlson, South Dakota State. Andrew Elriz of Northern Colorado. And Red, if the seeds were today, that's how the NCAA tournament would look at 141 pounds. The good news for Zargo, though, he's in the mix right now at 22 and in comfortably, actually. So, talk about at-large bids. And actually only down 4-1 in this one. Still in it, very much. Trying to scramble his way into this one. Of course, 32-man brackets at the NCAAs. You get the automatic spots based on your conference tournament finish. Usually in the Big Ten, with being such a dominant conference, it's anywhere from top 5 to top 8. And then those remaining spots are filled in with wild cards, and that's where you say you feel pretty good if you're the Badgers. At Zargo right now at 22, not only would he be in the NCAA tournament, he'd be in comfortably right now. Oh, nice job there by Zargo. And a 2-point takedown. 4-3. Red's got the riding time locked up, so you're going to give the escape 5-3. So basically 6-3. So you're going to need a takedown to the back, basically, if Zargo's going to pull a huge upset here to end the night. Honest effort, win or lose here by Zargo, going up against one of the top-ranked wrestlers in the country, and Chad Red Jr. Certainly handled himself nicely here tonight, did Zargo. But the story tonight, folks, is going to be Nebraska coming into Madison and pulling the stunner, knocking off the previously undefeated and 7th-ranked Wisconsin Badgers. Not just winning pretty comfortably at 22-12. That'd be one of the stunners of the year in the Big Ten.